I have a question not directly related to, or not about specifically the amount of time, but the issue of testing has been raised recently, particularly because of the issues in Atlanta. Could we just do a quick review of what procedures we have
Sure.
in place to ensure that we're getting credible and valid results?
First, there's what I would call idle debate. There's a watchdog, apparently, who thinks we shouldn't do STAR testing. We don't have a choice. Formative testing is part of this state now. You're either going to do Global Scholar or some other formative assessment. And we do STAR. We like it best. But if we weren't doing STAR, it'd be Global Scholar or something else. So a debate about formative assessments, not even a debate. And so then the next question is the accuracy of the results. And that's got something to do with the test itself and then the administration of the test. And the Atlanta question's administrative question about how were tests administered and what protocols were in place to make sure the results attained were reflective of students' abilities and capacities to do work. And so we have two schools in particular where we're watching this issue very closely. There are two where we have incentives tied to student achievement. And the measures we're using is STAR. So first thing, STAR has a lot of built-in protections in its own right. It's a computer adaptive assessment. If we were doing it here at the board, each one of us would be on a different question because it quickly moves to your level of proficiency and then asks questions around that area. So for us to collaborate, we'd have to get up and start moving around and talking about what question are we on and what answer is the best answer. I've never seen that blatant level of cheating, and I don't think anybody else has either. Next step is what are we doing even if there was going to be inappropriate behavior. We've got about 3 levels of proctoring and protocols in place in both of those schools so that we can have assurance that the results we see are reflective of what the students can do. Now, as you get into the quality core assessments, they're computer delivered tests as well. So the students can move along in there at their own rate, and they'll be on a different screen than the other students. It's not a computer adaptive assessment yet, but likely we'll head in that direction. This, too, we don't have a choice on. And so how do we administer it? That's the key question. And so there we have protocols as well to make sure that when these tests are being administered, they're being proctored. And they're being proctored in a way that those adults who could benefit from great student results won't be overseeing necessarily the same students. So the Atlanta issue, I think that superintendent got $500,000 for results. This superintendent asked for to not have an incentive. So there's quite a few differences between Atlanta and Huntsville, and I would just leave it at that.